2100 hours in the UK, 2200 hours in Central Europe.
Hear the yellow rose of Texas. You know you're tuned to Texas Radio Shortwave. We're coming to you from Germany over channel 292 in Shortwave Radio. Today, we're featuring an hour of music by Texan Bobby Fuller, with a playlist selected and the program announced by Mike Straw of Veracruz, Mexico. We'd love to hear from you. Please send a detailed reception report to Texas Radio Shortwave at protonmail.com. That's Texas Radio Shortwave at protonmail.com. If your report is correct, we'll send you a specially designed electronic verification as our thank you. Reports from listeners using remote receivers, also known as OCRs, are welcome too. For our schedule and news, please check our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/TexasRadioSW. Once more, that's www.facebook.com/TexasRadioSW. And now, here's Mike Straw.
Hi, Bobby Fuller here. Let me tell you about a show and dance my recruiter I'm to be putting on at Eastwood High School each Friday, August 10th, from 8 to 11 p.m. There'll be free watching, and we'll give you a preview of my soon-to-be-released recording of a nervous breakdown. Glad to make the scene this Friday, August 10th, from 8 to 11 p.m. at Eastwood High as Bobby Fuller and band perform a nervous breakdown and other great songs on the show and dance. Admission,
There's a street in El Paso, Texas, that wends its way through a quiet, upscale residential neighborhood. It's named Bobby Fuller Drive. Fans of American popular music, and particularly Texas rock and roll, immediately recognize the name of someone whom some would call a one-hit wonder. But that only scratches the surface of what was a dynamic but tragically short musical career. A career that wound its way along a traditional path but had a very bizarre ending. To the music of the Bobby Fuller 4 on Texas Radio Shortwave. We heard El Paso Rock, the live version, followed by Shakedown, You're in Love, Nervous Breakdown, and Guess We'll Fall in Love. So who was Bobby Fuller? Well, Robert Gaston Fuller was born in Goose Creek, Texas on October 22nd, 1942. Unfortunately, he was only 23 when he was found dead outside the house he was renting in Los Angeles. As rockabilly music began to blend into and be absorbed by top 40-style pop music, Fuller remained loyal to the Texas sound of the late Buddy Holly, with some unmistakable Tex-Mex added in for flavor. The Bobby Fuller 4 had constant lineup and record label changes, with aspiring musicians coming and going. But his younger brother Randy was always part of the band. A rock-solid anchor on bass with great chops and contributions. The music subjects? Well, girls, girls, and girls.
Well, now I'd like to sing a song that I wrote myself. It's dedicated to Angel Face.
You're listening to the music of the Bobby Fuller Four on Texas Radio Shortwave. We heard the live version of Angel Face, followed by Saturday Night, Another Sad and Lonely Night, Julie, Not Fade Away, and The Magic Touch. Music and times were changing, and especially for the Bobby Fuller Four. Times were changing as fast as musicians going through the Bobby Fuller Four. And the group was now connected with the legendary Los Angeles record producer Bob King, who had launched the career of Richie Valens. The band stepped up and headed to Los Angeles, with a corresponding shift in their music. Beaches and dragsters became part of their sound, as they became top 40 Los Angeles' favorites of the powerhouse DJs at KRLA and KHJ. But they were still without a signature hit that would take them into national success and elevate them from being a regional band. But they were getting closer and closer.
Cat's eye.
You're listening to the music of the Bobby Fuller Four on Texas Radio Shortwave. We heard the signature tune KRLA, Top Illuminated. Also King of the Wheels, the promo for the Los Angeles Big Kahuna, influenced the Bobby Fuller Four on 93 KHJ. Then we heard Wolfman and finally Leonard Dance. Suddenly, it was 1965. The long, hard road of regional digging, night after night, paid off. And the first national charted single, Leonard Dance, appeared on radio station playlists from coast to coast in the USA. Within a few short months, the follow-up single, I Fought the Law, their cover of the Sonny Curtis song written in 1958, became their true breakthrough hit. It was a solid entry in the top 10, and that version was considered number 175 of Rolling Stone magazine's 500 greatest songs of all time, along with the single being inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in the year 2015. 6 months after it appeared on the Billboard magazine Top 100, Bobby Fuller would be found dead outside his rented home in Los Angeles. He's buried in Park Lawn Cemetery in Los Angeles. You're listening to the music of the Bobby Fuller Four on Texas Radio Shortwave. That was their song, the big hit, the one that broke through, I Fought the Law. A song originally written and recorded by Sonny Curtis has gone on to be covered countless times from artists such as Bruce Springsteen, Hank Williams Jr., Green Day, and was even recorded by Mexican singer Leslie La Corteve in the Nahuatl indigenous language in Mexico. That's what's coming up first. And we'll also hear from Los Colorados with Joe Strummer. And close this program as Never to Be Forgotten, a fitting song for the end of the Bobby Fuller Four. Music for this program has come from the 3-CD box set, The Bobby Fuller Four, Never to Be Forgotten, the Mustang record label years.
day. Thanks for listening to Texas Radio Shortwave. And thanks to listener Mike Straw of Veracruz, Mexico, for assembling the Bobby Fuller 4 playlist and announcing our program. If you'd like verification that you heard this show, please send a detailed reception report to Texas Radio Shortwave at protonmail.com. That's Texas Radio Shortwave at protonmail.com. If your report is correct, we'll send you a specially designed electronic verification as our thank you. Reports from listeners using remote receivers, also known as SDRs, are welcome too. For our schedule and news, please check our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/TexasRadioSW. Once more, that's www.facebook.com/TexasRadioSW. Join us next month for music by singer-songwriter Lee Ann Womack.
It's 2200.